Hello guys, and welcome back to Strategic Command World War II, World at War with our Allied playthrough. I'm getting distracted by this submarine up here. It looks kind of funny. Last episode, we took care of the Soviets at the beginning, as we can see, of the Soviet winter. No effects from that yet, but hopefully some coming soon with the Germans beginning their advance, which I don't think is going to take them very far. I hope I prepared for it well. The Chinese continue to dominate primarily in Korea, a little slowed down in Manchuria, finally taking Mukden, and a lot of other work across like 2 other episodes, so we're gonna hit end turn and see the everything coming together. US oil embargo hits Japanese morale, which again I think only takes about like 1% off from what I've seen. Mussolini faces humiliation as Allied forces enter Albania. Didn't know that was an event. Japanese morale suffers from the loss of Seoul. Hell yeah. I'm not even paying attention to the strategic value of these things. I'm just taking things. French partisans disrupt supply. Thank God. Over by Nancy. Nice. Finland moving 8% towards the Allies. I think we just poured extra into Finland too, so that's good. That was like a 25% chance. It's December 5th. You fucking what? I haven't had to watch those convoys for the whole game. Okay. Alright. Shit. Tech. Funding SOE, Operation Countenance. Yeah, UK's not getting a lot of MPPs after this one. We lost all of Egypt's income, which is only 5, so thank God that's all we lost. Better than losing some of America's, like we did last time. 80 from the fall of Vladivostok, which is coming out of 40 from the USA's bank. Everything else looking good here. Honestly, I wish this page did not go away as quick as it did, because I'd like to go through and examine every single thing, but I didn't click that. It just went away. It stays around longer if there's not as much to look at, but I don't have the best vision, and sometimes I want to see it. Wait. Oh, what? Wait, okay, so the Japanese government attacked the DEI. US government condemns the Axis attack of the DEI. Is that the order that the AI does this? Japan declares, okay. Wait, why are you doing it in this order? USA mobilizes for... Hold up, what? Is this how the AI does it? I thought they just oh my god, hello. Oh my god, Navy! Whoa! Holy Navy! Holy, that guy, I forget his name right now. Patton, right? Holy fucking Navy! Is Pearl Harbor set up? Because they didn't declare war on America. They're declaring war on everybody else. America's in the war now, though. After this turn, we'll get so many MPPs. And that'll trickle over to the UK and USSR as a result. Japan's just declaring war on everybody. From what I know, if you attack just America, the rest of it just joins. But they're declaring war on everybody, which theoretically, wouldn't that move some neutrals towards the Allies? Germany honors tripartite pact, yeah. Declares war on America. Oh, I am so curious and confused. Alright, DEI is under attack. We can see the Japanese are well prepared for their attack on the DEI. These attacks on the DEI ports are doing great. Oh, this'll do wonders for the rock-bottoming Japanese morale, just destroying all the DEI units. It's pretty much nothing we can do about that. I just gotta wonder, assuming this goes to like the UK or something, whose national morale is being lost right now? Is it like the UK loses some because of this? How does that work? I'll have to check the UK's national morale after this, because I feel like the major does lose national morale whenever minors lose it, which is unfortunate. So, wow. I thought they would just attack America and everything else would join, because I've seen a video of that happening. But it was a player that did it. But here, it's completely different. Also, I notice how convenient. Nothing is protecting the Solomon Islands or Port Moresby, even though there's supposed to be a pretty big fight there historically. And okay, here we go. The Japanese fleet's shown up at Hawaii. Oh, battleship. Oh, battleship. No. Oh, battleship. No. Oh, God, they were in position. Where's the carriers? Oh, no, there's the carriers. Our interceptors are ready. We've upgraded them. Oh, no. Oh, battleship. No. Oh, no, battleship gone. 594 national morale. That's with anti-air on the Hex and everything. More interceptors running. They fully set up and everything for this. Which I guess, theoretically, the good part about that is that it means none of these ships are in Japan. Meaning maybe we could get a Chinese amphibious unit off. I think we just lost another battleship. Oh my god. Oh, we're gonna lose another one. Oh. Please. Please. Let him live. Bring him home. He is young. He is only a boy? I forget the lyrics. Anyway, USSR under attack. We obviously, yeah, we know this is coming. Pushing up around near Kiev here. I don't know all these other names, and I can't read them right now with my vision. So, well, we do see mobility being used in the transport of a lot of these units, meaning a lot of money is probably being spent on these mobility upgrades, unless the AI gets that for cheaper. Amazingly, this town's holding out for way longer than I kind of expected it would. Odessa getting surrounded. I kind of expected them to just blast through Odessa. Not attack it a few times, give up, and then start charging in like this. I noticed the snow has moved on their turn. It's now mud up where it was snow, and now it's snow where there was mud. Interesting. Well, they're still trying for Odessa. They're just not trying as hard. And they're not trading, like, losses at a sustainable rate for themselves. Oh, the tank is still going after the less entrenched part of the Metaxas line. Interesting. But that's where we have an army now. And now the British tanks are under heavy attack by Axis tanks. Oh, God. Oh, God. Okay. They're getting pretty hurt. Oh, God, they've landed in the Philippines and the DEI. Manila's under attack by amphibious transport. Wow, those are really upgraded. A plane just died instantaneously. Holy fucking shit. They have a hell of a way of simulating this in this game. It's so simplistic and not in a good way. I'm not hating on it right now. It's just... as the Allied player, it's terrifying to watch. Does the Axis get given units for free to do all this? Did we just lose the fucking garrison I sent from France up there? Just like that? They have a terrifying way of simulating this, man. Terrifying. It makes it look like the fucking Allies aren't putting up a fight at all. Which, in a lot of cases, you know, the places like the DEI and stuff, they really didn't. But there's some details missing from the way this is being handled. But we basically have 1 month, and we're pretty much going to lose the Philippines. Everything on it. Can Patton even get out of there? Like, everything just came from the north. Manila wasn't that accessible to the Japanese, and it had a lot of troops there. I know the Japanese took it quickly, but holy shit. So did the Japanese AI have to pay for all of this? Is that why they were losing so bad in China? Because they were paying to pull all of that off? Getting everything in their transports? How can they even have that many transports? That's crazy. And then, if they didn't, is that an event the player can get, just getting all that free stuff? The British people welcome U.S. entrance into the war. U.S. morale suffers the loss of Guam, Wake, Philippines. Ugh. Italy fears U.S. entrance into the war. German fears U.S. entrance into the war. Soviet welcome U.S. entrance into the war. Japan celebrates capture of Guam, Wake, Philippines, Guadalcanal. Philippines surrenders already. Yeah. Japan plunders 46 MPP. All right. Patton, MacArthur, I forget which one that is still there. Solomon Islands have already surrendered instantaneously. Brunei prepares for war. Okay, so ones that they didn't immediately declare war and are preparing for war. 10th Army forms in Jerusalem. Oh, that's hot. Did you see how upgraded that was? MacArthur arrives in Australia. Oh, did he teleport? Japanese bomber arrives at Buin. Brunei joins the Allies. Burma prepares for war. Burma joins the Allies. Sarawak prepares for war. Australia mobilizes its home defenses. Sarawak joins the Allies. Hong Kong joins the Allies. Oh, thank God there's a garrison there. U.S. industry mobilizes for war. I don't know what that does. Allied government signs the United Nations Declaration calling for complete victory over the Axis. Hey, that's what the thumbnail is. It's the United Nations. The old United Nations, not the current one. Holy crap. That has got to be the worst turn for us in so long. But there's nothing we really could have done to prevent it. Japan was always going to do this. And I'm realizing, oh my God, what we just saw was probably the entire reason why Japan just got their ass beat in mainland Asia. Because all their MPPs were going into the research for all the amphibious transports that they have to use. Not to mention loading up the transports, getting like all the carriers up to snuff as well, assuming that they don't cheat there. I really don't know. It's hard to tell. I find it hard to believe that they could do all that. But it does make sense that they wouldn't be able to hold mainland Asia if they were paying for all of that. Wow. Okay. What's next? Wait, okay, so that's MacArthur. So is this Patton? They have anti-air up. Oh, I did see an anti-air. I did see one. Remember that? In a transport. Huh. German garrison spotted at Königsberg. Army near Niigata. Now, I wonder if this is a reformed army. You know, without even seeing the army's levels, we could tell that was an upgraded army, like level 2, because of the model. I guess that's an advantage of the 3D model. For, you know, trying to get intel. Let's see. The upcoming conference in Rio de Janeiro with several Latin American countries could give us a platform to openly encourage some of them to join our war effort. Most Latin American countries are divided, and some contain strong pro-Axis sentiments, but some Argentinian financiers and industrialists appear to favor us. With a little support, they could gain sufficient strength to win in the upcoming elections. Providing funds to support the election campaign in Argentina will cost 120 MPPs at 30 a turn for 4 turns. There is a danger that doing nothing could lead to the pro-Axis forces winning the election. So would you like to support pro-Allied forces in Argentina? Sure. Why not? I feel like that'll just go to America, right? Not the UK. But the more MPPs America makes, the more UK gets, and thus the more Soviets gets. The Soviets got 705. I can't wait to see, now that America's fully mobilized, I want to see the convoy going to the UK, and then I want to see the UK convoy next turn going to the Soviets, and see how fucking high that number gets. Yeah, we'll go ahead and fund that. The UK's commitment in areas, I've been scaling back to keep up with what's been going on. Pro-Allied mobilization in Argentina, cool. Red Army headquarters, the enemy advances threatening our industrial resources in the Ukraine. And without these resources, the war could soon be lost. It is therefore vital that we transfer technicians and machinery to the Urals, where new factories can be built to continue the war effort. Doing so will temporarily disrupt production in the Ukraine, but the long run will will far outweigh the cost. Would you like to authorize the transfer of industrial resources to the safety of the Urals? It's vital enabling the USSR to withstand the Axis onslaught. Cannot be stressed enough just how important it is to say yes to this. Look, all right. So if the only downside is some temporarily disrupted production, and you're stressing to me how important doing this is, when the enemies have already pushed up to Kiev, I don't even know how this works. Like, where's the MPPs coming from? Is it like this mine, for example? I don't understand. Yes, sure. If it's that important. Transfer industry from the Ukraine to the Urals. Industry disrupted. Okay. I don't fully understand the effects that this has had. I wish it was a little more specific. We get a free Indian core this turn. That's awesome. Before we deploy it, we gotta take stock of the situation. So Burma's in the war. Burma spawned the Burma Corps, so they do have some protection in the case of an invasion from Thailand, meaning we don't need to send Indians there. Even if Thailand does join, the Chinese are already on the case. So this is Wainwright. Okay. So it was MacArthur who goes here, and MacArthur already got out. And now MacArthur is in Australia. Rating 6, interesting. With Eisenhower and Patton at number 8. Wow. Wow, poor MacArthur. Oh my god. Isn't MacArthur the guy that wanted to like launch 200 nukes at the Japanese? This guy's a fucking visionary, man. This guy's got all the plans. Well, now he's here. Oh look, he's actually supporting this somehow. Is he really? Or am I just seeing that wrong? I didn't think that ally, like for example, I didn't think, oh no, look at that. It is supporting the Greece and the Rhodesians. Everything I've been seeing up to this point has had me thinking that this was just impossible. Oh my god, I just realized how bad the Greek HQ is. Like from everything I've been seeing with the HQs we have down here. With a rating 7 HQ, you know, and a rating 6, it's really been making it look like it only supports things of its own nationalities. Is it not looking like that down here? Why is it different everywhere else? Why is it so picky? I have so many questions. I'm not angry, I just have a lot of questions. This poor armor tank got its ass beat. I was hoping for much greater things from it, but it just got its ass beat. We did get Finland to move a little bit, so that's good. They're at 74%. Again, not the most important thing, but we might as well be working on diplomacy. So American lend-lease to the UK in the winter is at 50% right now. It's at 50%, so that's pretty nerfed, and we're sending 115. I'm not sure if that's accounting for the full mobilization income. I feel like it is. And then the Arctic convoys are still 100% during the winter. It's up to 247. So I think we're definitely accounting for this being an increase. If 115 is half of 30%, so this is 15% of America's MPPs. Holy shit. How do we go about getting Venezuela now? Philippines ships iron and rubber to Japan. Oh, so they have a new thing going on. Didn't know they'd get a convoy from that. And they will get a convoy once they actually step on Batavia. I'm amazed they haven't done that yet. So America only still has Panama attached to it. Meaning it was the UK that got Brunei, Burma, probably the Solomons as well, amidst other things. America probably got the Philippines, but it just died so quickly. We also got the Dutch East Indies as the UK. And if you look, the Dutch East Indies could actually put up quite a fight. They can actually get a little bit of a navy and a decent amount of corps. It's actually not that bad. The problem is that the AI is so committed to taking this as they historically did, as they desperately need it for resources, even with a presence maintained in China that they're supposed to be winning, not to mention now that they've failed in China, now that they've lost Indochina, they even lost Manchuria, and they're losing Korea pretty much. They're losing a lot of their income. This is them regaining it. This is what this is. We also got Hong Kong, we had Malaya, and yeah, it all pretty much went to the UK. So I guess the entrance of America into the war just far outweighs everything that fell for the morale of the UK, because the UK's national morale jumped up to like its highest point, basically 101%, no more debuff of any kind on these units. America's morale, however, has faltered down to 93% with the loss of units, attached to their minor, the Philippines, and the loss of the Philippines. Like the battleships included. The battleships are probably a pretty big part. Especially when you remember, like, these are not just percentages. There's numbers attached to all these that are very different per country, but kind of scaled to reflect certain factors. The USSR's morale is up to 108% with the entrance of America into the war. And something else prior, I guess. Oh, this is probably... Well, this was because of Brest. I don't know what... Well, I guess that was just America all by itself. Nice. All right. Germany's morale has faltered even further due to the entrance of America into the war. And Italy's, due to America's entrance into the war and due to allied units entering Albania, has faltered to 61%. That's a pretty big drop off from when it was just above 70%. Japanese morale was, where's this line? Under 50% there for a moment with the fall of everything last turn and the oil embargo. But now that they have started taking shit over, now that they have declared wars, I notice, okay, here's an event difference I notice. When you declare war on America directly during the embargo, I've seen that Japan is supposed to get a morale boost for declaring war on America specifically. And then everything else just kind of enters the war after that. So it's a different way to do it, probably as a fail-safe for making sure you don't go about things different ways. The AI just declared war on other things and America joined as a result of vastly increased mobilization, I suppose. So they got bonuses from taking things. However, they're still only at 53%, even with all that recovery. They will recover even more MPPs when they take the DEI, and they're going to get a very beautiful looking convoy of oil to hopefully, well, hopefully for them, I guess, make up their losses. That combined with the Philippines, I wonder if that would make up for all the convoys we've gotten rid of this whole time, which, if it does, thank God we got rid of these other ones and are winning ahistorically, or I could see why fighting Japan could be so difficult in the long run. But Japan pretty much had to give up China to make all of this happen as quickly as it did. Looking at the convoy income for Japan, you can see it's barely ticked back up there. It's not even at like 10. So the Philippines itself is not worth very much, especially not in the winter. I was looking at more of the graphs and I saw our friend Japan has been spending on units quite regularly. I think it said they spent something like 5,000 on units since the start. I can say without a doubt, we have not seen 5,000 MPPs worth of units here and here with all the replenishments and anything else that has shown up. Certainly not. I mean, I've killed almost everything over here, and I've killed a few thousand worth, yeah. But I definitely haven't seen that much, even accounting for reinforcements. A lot of this stuff could have spawned in, some of it even with events, but I think it's safe to say the AI was definitely preparing for this for a long time. Also, I looked separate to the research at Italy's spending on units. Italy has spent 2,500 MPP since the start on units, and there was one gigantic spike. This was a 1 month spike where they spent about 1,000 MPPs on units alone. That spike, I'm assuming, is when they got 1,000 MPPs from Paris. So the reason I think that we see so many Italian troops, because it does feel like there's a lot of Italians, doesn't there? Is because after that's what they did with all the money from Paris. They just bought a fuck ton of men. They just bought a fuck ton of units. It didn't even go into research. They were researching separately with their normal money. They got that 1,000 MPPs from Paris and they immediately spent it. One thing I'm noticing about locations is if they don't have any units, such as Port Moresby here in New Guinea, it doesn't actually show them, and the only way, like on the purchase screen, the only way to figure out who they belong to, I think, is to just try to upgrade something like on the land there and then see whose MPP it draws from. Damn, I know Argentina wasn't already 76% leaning towards America. No fucking way. This must be new. And I don't know that it's in the immediate effect of what we did with the UK. I assume those elections are still ongoing. But if we look, we can see that Argentina is 76% mobilized to joining the war. We know, I know, in 42 and onwards, pretty much all of South and Central America did join the war. I don't know if there's going to be events for that, and I guess I should probably assume that there won't be. So I'm scrolling around trying to figure out the presence of partisans or lack thereof in all the things that are now at war. From what I can see, Brunei has the ability to hurt the enemy supply and MPPs coming out of it. Manila, same thing, but absolutely nothing that it could actually summon. Burma and pretty much everywhere else is just completely lacking anything for self-defense of that nature. And hell yeah, oh my god. We sailed that garrison up here. I think I got it here just before the invasion. I guess I should have thought of this a long time ago instead of doing it when I did, because the garrison had no time to entrench. Even if it did have time to entrench, I guess it just would have been too bad, huh? The French can't even reform it because they already have a garrison because a new one made itself just for free. So basically what I should have done is just waited for this one, left it be, and saved 50 MPPs. One thing I'm realizing about US Lend-Lease to UK being 115 MPPs during the winter at 30%, meaning 15%, is that doesn't this mean that America is making something like 800 or 900 MPPs a turn now? We just haven't seen it kick in yet because it's brand new. Which means going forward, especially once the winter ends, America, the UK, and the USSR are going to be absolutely loaded. Whereas we've kind of gotten devastated initially, as we historically are supposed to. I'd venture saying this is even worse. We just got so much wealthier for all of our main countries that matter the most for actually winning the war. Now, one issue with the war in the Pacific having started is that I have put very little investment into Australia and New Zealand, as we've mentioned before. And by little, I mean absolutely like zero. I prepared Malaya best I could, minus hiring some fighters as well, which, you know, judging by the enemy carrier presence, would just get absolutely slaughtered. However, that's it. China's China. Even though they've won, they can't do a whole lot, especially not currently. Amphibious transports, sure, but they'll need a navy. And the problem is, a large portion of the burden of the Navy in the Pacific falls to the UK. The American Navy was not ready for this in 42. It's not ready for it now. And neither was the UK Navy. We finally got the first of many ships that I agreed to deliver to the Pacific. Here in India, Calcutta, we got the Royal Sovereign battleship at 5 out of 10 strength. So we're going to have to end up building that up. But we also have to, like, upgrade and get ready the Australian Navy. We're going to have to do it for the New Zealand Navy. Now, the problem with this, however, is look at all this supply. Damn, this game lags with all these numbers up. But look at this supply. We actually can't get most of this up to snuff while it's here, which is a big reason why I also just didn't bother. I need them to go somewhere with more supply to actually get them up to snuff. Now, this could be India, or this could be America. Either way, they are going to need to go somewhere else because they can't get past strength 8 while they're here. Going to the Dutch East Indies is just not going to be an option. Nor does it look like even that had the supply options for what I'm thinking of. Damn, knowing everything that was here historically and then just seeing nothing here and seeing the Japanese land so many special forces, which, by the way, I think I discovered while looking at the Soviets that these things, like paratroopers and special forces, may be able... No, I guess you guys can too. It looks like they can transport without even being at a port. Maybe just being adjacent to the port, regardless of where the port is located, is good enough. Yeah, it does seem to be that way. For this turn, however, due to the lack of things actually being fully in motion yet, the UK is not going to have a lot of MPPs to work with to start covering all these fronts. And while America still has a good amount, maybe somewhere like half, maybe a little more than half of what they'll be earning every turn now, everything being sent away aside, we're not going to be able to do much. In terms of the Pacific, we're on the run, we're not prepared. Even if I did get this Navy up to snuff at the expense of everything we were accomplishing in Europe, it still wouldn't be prepared, if I'm being completely honest. I knew this attack by Japan was coming. I knew historically how it would go. I knew it would hurt, but I didn't realize just how vicious it would be. But the good news is, looking forward to the future, looking at this map, we still very much have the initiative, with Africa about to be wrapped up. 2 fronts held open by the UK and Europe, even if they can't afford anything they're dealing with right now anyway. The USSR's front, I feel guaranteed to overwhelm the Germans while the UK holds the other fronts, and America's undivided attention to destroy the Japanese at sea. I feel this is the final lashing out of the Axis, and nothing that they do will ever hurt this much again. I feel this is going to be the worst, most painful moment out there. You know, with the fall of like France, the Low Countries, and etc. I feel like this is the last one of those. And from this point on, with the exception that DEI is going to fall, no matter what, I feel as though overall, it's just going to get better. I feel like 1 year from now, when we look at this map, on what's it going to be, the January of 1943, we're going to see an even more advantageous situation to the Allies overall in the world, compared to this important day. A day which you might say will live in infamy. The day the United States of America was suddenly and deliberately attacked by the naval and air forces of the Empire of Japan. And I guess some other dudes got attacked too. With the war in Europe at a tipping point, the war in China all but won, and the war in Africa all but done, I hope you guys are ready for the war in the Pacific on the next one.